Hey YouTube, we are back again this week for another video portion of the Daly Dose Sports Podcast. Hope everyone out there is doing well. Hope you're all enjoying some nice spring weather. I know we're getting some nice weather here in Colorado at least. Hey, this week on the Dose, the NCAA Tournament is now complete and we are actually handing out some end of the year awards. So far, we have handed out the most outstanding player. We have handed out the coach of the year. We have handed out the biggest surprise of the year. Handed out the biggest disappointment, and we even talked about the best game of the season so far. But right now, we're handing out a few very special Daly Dose awards. So let's jump into that right now. Okay, our next award is kind of a tough one. It is our Anderson Hunt Award. It is, of course, named for the UNLV player that tore up the NCAA tournament back in 90, 91, and then we never really heard from him again. And this is a tough one because what player right now in this 2021 college basketball season had a pretty good tournament and then we're probably not really ever going to hear from him again? I mean, it's tough to predict which players will be special and whose games will not really translate over to the pros. But if I'm going to give out our Anderson Hunt Award winner, I'm going to give it to Gonzaga's Corey Kispert this year. Now, Kispert averaged 19 points and 5 rebounds for the Zags this year. Here's my struggle with his game. My struggle is, where does he play at the next level? He doesn't have the post game to play inside. I don't think he has the strength to guard post players inside. And we know he can't guard anyone on the perimeter. So where do you play? That's going to make for a really tough transition to the next level because Kispert's inability to play defense, it was really front and center in those last two that Gonzaga played against UCLA and against Baylor. You could see he was a weakness. They had to switch and go zone to try to hide his inability to keep players in front of him. I mean, the kid's unafraid to shoot. I'll give him that. I don't know that he can handle the ball that well, so I don't know that he can be a 3. Is he a 4? I don't think so. And for that reason, we are going to give Kispert our Anderson Hunt Player of the Year. We actually have a new award this year that we're going to be handing out here on the Daly Dose. I would like to announce the new Mark Madsen Rec League Champion Award, and we are going to be handing it out to the player that, honestly, it doesn't really even look like he should be playing Division I basketball. He looks like a rec league player. And here's the thing about it. Someday, he is probably going to be a rec league player, much like Mark Madsen when he was at Stanford. Yes, he played a few years in the league, and then he went on to probably rec league greatness. But I will warn you about our rec league player of the year. If you somehow end up at the rec league or at the park and you end up checking this guy, tell your family to stay home. You don't want them there because he is going to torch you. Our winner this year of the brand new Daly Dose Mark Madsen Rec League Champion Award. Who else could it go to? Loyola Chicago big man Cameron Krutwig, who already looks like he should be playing in a rec league. Except that instead of tearing up like the local chuckers down at the Y, he was terrorizing Georgia Tech. He was coming up with clutch plays against the University of Illinois and sending them home early. Yes, I realize Cameron Krutwig, he looks like a state trooper or maybe like a mattress salesman in like a Coen Brothers movie. I realize that, but understand this, dude can play a little bit. If you end up matched against him at the Y, he's going to tear you up. You're going to have a long day and you're probably going to get beat up physically quite a bit too. For that reason, he is an award winner for us today on the Dose. Our final award this year in the 2021 Daly Dose NCAA Men's Basketball Awards is going to be the always popular Kardashian Award. Now, if you're not familiar with the Kardashian Award that we hand out here on the Dose, we give it to the most covered player or program that honestly is not really all that worthy of all the media coverage that they receive. And this is tough because as we've talked about today on the Dose, there were a lot of underachievers just in general this year. But the thing about this award, the thing about the Kardashian Award, it's not just about the underachieving. It's also about you constantly have the spotlight on you. Even though you didn't really do anything, everyone was looking at you. You were on the magazine covers. You were the lead story. You got plastered all over the sports media world despite the fact that you really didn't have that much to offer in the great scheme of things. And I mean, when you think about that, isn't that really the essence of the Kardashians? I think it is. Of course, it would be easy this year to give the award to, say, North Carolina. They not only bowed out of the tournament early, getting blown out by 25, but they actually got Roy Williams to retire and just say, you know what? I'd rather go play golf and sit at home with my grandkids than try to coach you morons. For that reason, Carolina could easily get it. We could give it to the Duke Blue Devils. Remember, they went just 13-11. And at one point early in the season, Mike Krzyzewski, a leader of men, a motivator, a guy who is going to come out and tell you how to do things in tough situations, he said at one point, we should probably just cancel the season. That might have been one of the most embarrassing statements all year for him. Honestly, we could give him the award just for that statement alone. But we're not going to do that. No, we're going to have to give our Kardashian Award of all flash and no substance this year to the Kentucky Wildcats, who were, once again, stocked with, I'm told, NBA talent, but they went just 9-16. And while I know head coach John Calipari, he will still go to the NBA draft, he'll be taking all the pictures, he'll be smiling at the cameras, he will show no shame whatsoever. But they did go 9-16. They didn't even make the tournament, and they really weren't all that competitive. They didn't really have all that much to offer. But make no mistake, they got a ton of coverage. But I mean, again, when you think about that, isn't that kind of what the Kardashians do? Okay, YouTube, make sure that you go over and you check out the rest of the podcast. This week on The Dose, we are handing out those college basketball awards, but we do also have some sports news to talk. The Masters, of course, took place over the weekend. Talk about that a little bit. Alex Rodriguez is going to become a pro sports owner? What could that mean? Plus, we have a Daly Dose top 5 for you this week, too. You know, this year, the Final Four provided us with one of the most exciting games in NCAA Tournament history. But then, the national championship, well, let's just say it was a little less exciting. But as you're going to see today in our top 5, that has actually happened before. So make sure you go out and you check out the rest of the podcast. I'll leave a link here for you on YouTube. Hope you all are doing well. I will see you all next Wednesday. Have a great week.